One of the great 12-step questions is, are you in the middle of the herd? Are you living your life in the middle of the herd? So as someone low in agreeableness, which is one of the big 5 personality traits, high or low in agreeableness, I've been low. So I've not lived my life in the middle of the herd. I remember when I came to America in 1977, I was introduced to some of my future classmates at the Pacific Union College swimming pool, and my reaction to meeting them was to start splashing them with water. And other ways that I related to them was by teasing them, just using words to provoke them, to put them down. And that did not create a life in the middle of the herd. My father, for example, did not live his life in the middle of the herd. And so he was a constant figure of controversy, and the pretext was theology, right? That's what all these intellectuals in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the pretext was they were fighting over divine truth, right? But much of it was really just ego. And they didn't want to be in the middle of the herd, they wanted to be leading the herd. And when you want to lead the herd, you often get into a lot of conflict with other people, and it does not make for a smooth life. So are you living life in the middle of the herd, or are you holding yourself off to the side, which has been my lifelong habit? But when I have managed to live my life in the middle of the herd, I've been much, much happier. So how do you live life in the middle of the herd? You do what you did in high school. Remember when friendships and your group was so important to you? You ask people to breakfast, you ask people to lunch, you ask people to dinner, you ask people to meet to a coffee, you ask people to go for a hike. You spend more time with people. And if you're recovering from some unhealthy addiction, then you may want to replace the primary people you hang around with to sober people. So if you've had the opportunity to, say, go to a birthday party that's a sober birthday party, no alcohol, no weed, no sexual intriguing, no romantic intriguing, none of those addictive, destructive games that we play with each other or substances that we indulge in. It's just like, just so relaxing. It's just feels great. And one of the great parts of 12-step programs is the fellowship that you engage in after the meeting. Aside from the meeting, you go to Super Bowl parties together, you go to retreats together, you walk on the beach together, you eat out together, you go to a coffee house together. You do everything together. And so when you live life in the middle of the herd, life goes much better. But when you're dead set on leading the herd, or standing apart from the herd, or critiquing the herd, or pointing out where the herd is wrong, it does not make for a happy life. And I am speaking here entirely from experience. So I'm just curious, are you living life in the middle of the herd? Because if you're watching this YouTube video, in all likelihood you are not living life in the middle of the herd, right? People who watch a lot of YouTube, I think by definition, tend to be somewhat antisocial. And if you're antisocial, you're not going to be living life in the middle of the herd. But there are things you can do to learn to live around other people and to make that a priority. And particularly if you need to let go of some destructive habits and patterns in your life, then you need to get yourself often a new herd, a new group of people to hang out with, and can help to have a sober group of people, people who aren't filled with destructive addictions, either to substances or to processes. So finding yourself a sober herd and plunking yourself down in the middle of that herd is essential for recovery.